Aloha everybody, and welcome to the Mega Man Maverick Hunter X Vile playthrough. So we got like 4 different weapons upon defeating the last Maverick. Again, you get a whole slew of weapons at your disposal, a whole crap load, many of which I'm not showing off, if not all of which I'm not showing off. I apologize, but I love the distance needler so much, and I'm not getting rid of it, and I'm just switching around to every occasional weapon here and there to show them off, like the blow-away bomb, which I put on my ankles, which is not as good as the default bomb in my opinion. There's always 3 pieces of equipment I want on Vile on all times that you'll be seeing when I get to the Sigma Castle. Distance needler, this item called the Straight Nightmare, and the default ankle bombs, because I just think that the default ankle bombs that you start the game off are perfectly fine. They're perfectly fine as they are. I don't think they needed to be better or worse. They're just... the ankle bombs are rock. To the left is no longer a sub-tank. The sub-tanks have been switched around, and there is no longer a sub-tank in Armored Armadillo stage. There's also no more roller coaster spike contraption platforms to ride around on. So this level feels a little bit more boring. Plus it's missing its badass theme song, but I digress. Oh my god, look! It's a classic Mega Man bat enemy! And that guy keeps spawning when you just keep going off screen, because that's how these Mega Man games roll. And this bat has a high probability of dropping free men. There's one! I got an extra life. Hey, it's back, let's shoot it again. There's one! I got an extra life! He always drops, like, high weapon energy, high life energy, and a free man. Those are always one of his drops, because that bat has just good items inside of him, I don't know. He's been hanging around since 20XX, when, you know, the Wily Wars were going on, and then he sees Vile here, and he just decides, I'm gonna say hello to Vile! I'm gonna prove my worth to Sigma! I'm gonna show Sigma that us old robots are just as good as the new ones. I say this as there's a Metool on the screen. Sigma, do you really need to keep employing the Metools? They are useful, damn it! I want Metools in my army! They didn't work for Dr. Wily years ago. I mean, I don't see the point. Damn it! Mega Man X will be caught off guard by the cutesiness of the Metool. And then that Metool will shoot a yellow laser beam into his heart and kill him! Speaking of going crazy with the machine gun, Ride Armor can't go through here though, so that sucks. There's a Ride Armor in every level, but, you know, sometimes they're always put in awkward places. I mean, I could have waited for the robot to kill and destroy all the dirt so I could get through, but now where's the fun in that? I don't want to follow him. Anywho, the heart tank is no longer in the tunnels. The sub-tank was no longer there. Sub-tank is not in this level at all, but the heart tank is at the end here. Instead of having these roller coasters which launch you to the boss door, now we have to rely on the Sigma Castle style platforms with a whole bunch of helicopter annoying enemies that are constantly going to keep running into you. So you have to shoot them down really quickly, lest you want to get knocked back and fall into the bottomless pit below. So they have a platform that's sort of hiding off screen, and I'll tell you when it starts showing up. Here, stay on that platform, and when it starts to move left, jump to the right, because there's a platform right there that they don't show you. Booyah. You ride this platform all the way to the end, and you will find a heart tank where the Hadouken Dr. Light capsule used to be. So now we got our heart tank, no sub-tank in this level. On to the boss!
I'm under orders to destroy anyone who comes here. It doesn't matter who it is.
All you do is follow orders. You really think you can take me on?
You don't respect authority. You don't follow orders. I pity you.
Pity? Don't pity me. You don't know anything about me.
Enough talk. Let's fight.
Bitch, you don't know me. You don't know me. I'm Vile. Don't you be talking trash about me. I don't know. Anyway, again, I don't have his weakness, so I'm not going to be busting off that armor, so every time he goes into rolling formation, I can't really damage him. I think if you hit him enough times when he's rolling around, if you do a high enough amount of damage, it doesn't hurt him per se, but it at least stops him, and he stops moving. So that's at least one tip I would recommend. Although it seems like half the time it doesn't always work, even though it seems like I've hit him with my cannon a lot, so I don't know. It seems kind of random sometimes, but that's what I think happens. I'm not an expert, after all. If I get details wrong, then you nerdy kids gotta calm down. But anywho, I've got like one slither of health left, so I better not die. I love this move! I briefly showed it off when I was showing off the Hadouken in the X playthrough, but I love that move so much. Him just going in circles faster and faster and faster and faster and faster, so you're timing your jump presses to go faster too. I just love that kind of platforming. I always think it's really fun. So every time he does it, I'm just like, yes, 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 he's doing it again! He did not do this in the original Mega Man X. Maverick Hunter X, I applaud you for giving Armored Armadillo a very fun, very awesome attack. But, yeah. So that's Armored Armadillo stage. It's, the heart tank's gonna be a little bit annoying because of the helicopter enemies always running into you, and I always find myself falling into the pits there. But again, I showed you where that classic Mega Man bat is. You can rake in sub-tank energy, you can rake in lives with that enemy. That guy's a godsend. And if you're looking for him in the X playthrough for both the original game and Maverick Hunter X playthrough, he's always right at the beginning in the first hallway where you're riding down the first spike platform. It's right away as the level begins. It's like when you're riding the roller coaster, you just sort of zoom right through and you don't really notice it, but there's a lot of bats in that hallway, and one of them is the classic Mega Man 1. At least in the Maverick Hunter X playthrough. I didn't really test it out with the original playthrough, but like the original Super Nintendo game. But that's how Eyes remembers it. And, you know, I remember everything because I am a god. But anywho, because the Distance Needler can pass through that guy's yellow shield, and it's so freaking powerful. I love this missile, this wrist gun. I love it. That guy is no problem at all. That sub-boss, no challenge whatsoever. Anyway, there is a sub-tank in Launch Octopus's stage, and you have to... Don't destroy this boat right away. Instead, go all the way to the right, because there's a platform in the water moving left and right to the right of the boat, and the sub-tank is actually floating up at the top of the water. Use your bombs, because again, the bombs let you stay in the air longer, and they let you get a little bit more distance than you would normally if you didn't. And it also helps to have Storm Eagle's running ability. That way your jumps go a lot farther and stuff. So kill Storm Eagle first, that'll definitely help. But don't destroy the boat right away. There is a platform which will take you to a sub-tank, and that is where your sub-tank is. The heart tank, however, is exactly in the same spot that it was during the X playthrough. So we gotta destroy this boat, we gotta go to this underground water hangar, and then we gotta destroy this snake robot thing by shooting either its head or its tail. I'm not sure if the tail is a weak point or if the head is a weak point. Either way, just shoot both parts. You'll kill it either way. Oh, you know what I didn't mention? I meant to mention this during the X playthrough, because I didn't mention it in the original Super Nintendo playthrough, and I didn't mention it in the X playthrough, and I just realized that, and I was like, oh wait, why did I not mention that? If you ever get Boomerang Cutter from Boomer Kawanger, you can actually use it to cut off certain appendages of certain Mavericks. You can cut off Flame Mammoth's trunk, and you can cut off Launch Octopus's tentacles. I am not kidding. That is absolutely true. It happens in both the Super Nintendo original and this remake. And for some reason, I always have it in my weakness order to go after Boomer Kuwanger like last. You know, he's always one of the last guys I take on. But his weapon can do that to Mavericks. And it was always a nice, neat little quirk, you know? It's one of those weird things where you're just trying out weaknesses on different bosses, and it's like, oh wow, I cut off Flame Mammoth's trunk. That doesn't seem to hurt him any more than Storm Eagle's Storm Tornado, but hey, that was kind of neat. Again, Mega Man X was so unique like that. Mega Man X was so interesting, so special. This is the best in the X series, after all. The best. Anywho, Launch Octopus.
Well, well, well. Look what the catfish dragged in. You plan on betraying Sigma, do you?
I'll tell you one thing. I don't like working for others.
A tough guy, hmm? You're not half bad. I like you.
I don't care if a pitiful fool like you likes me or not. I'll show you how an artiste fights.
Those tentacles totally gone if you use the Boomer Cutter on him. But anywho, again, it's pretty basic. He's got these torpedoes, which are sort of easy to dodge, kind of. I mean, I don't really have a problem with them. He has those homing fish he'll send at you. Just climb the wall when they start to get close to you, and then wall jump out of the way. And again, Distance Needler, so powerful no matter what boss you're taking on. It is a godsend to have. Vile, I always found the Vile playthrough to not be weakness-based, just more about picking the appropriate weapon that you like, you know. Pick a strong weapon, it'll be strong on every boss. Pick a weak weapon, but that has lots of range, it'll get rid of enemies on screen really quickly, but it won't be good for bosses, blah 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 blah, you know. It's all just about choosing your weapons accurately, and you get a lot of them. You get a lot, and I mean a lot of weapons. It is crazy. For some reason I put the bang away bomb back on. I don't know what I was doing during this playthrough. What am I doing? Either way. The Heart Tank for Sting Chameleon stage has been switched around to be at the very beginning of the stage. And it's very easy to miss because, again, you're so familiar to the original game, and the foreground trees are kind of blocking it. But it's up there in the tree. I can't jump to it as I am, so what I have to do is I have to ride this little tree part that the guy launches, jump off that, and I got my Heart Tank. There it is. That actually took me a while to figure out, but like when I did find it, I was like slapping myself in the head. I was like, really? You can kind of see it shining in the tree when the level starts too. God damn it. It's probably like all those kids who play Mega Man X2 and then they discover that the wire sponge Heart Tank is literally to the left in the beginning of the stage. You just start, go left, and there it is, and it's like, doy! That's so easy. I can't believe I missed that. Though, to be fair to Wire Sponge, how are you supposed to know you could go left to the wall? But I digress. The sub-tank is in Sting Chameleon stage. And what you want to do is you want to jump out of your right armor at this point, and there you go. So the right armor is located where the Dr. Light capsule used to be. And don't fall into any bottomless pits. Don't let these enemies destroy it before you get there. And you just jump, and then you push up and jump while in the air to get it. And that's how that cookie crumbles. So now I have 3 sub-tanks, and I got the Heart Tank, so I'm golden. Now I'm just going to let my Distance Needler destroy everything like it's nothing. Even the Joes. It's ridiculous. I don't care, though. I love this weapon. So, yeah, it should be mentioned that Keiji Inafune wanted this series to replace Mega Man X's 1 through 6. He wanted to completely redo all of the X games in this style, so there was going to be a Maverick Hunter X2, there was going to be a Maverick Hunter X3, and so on. And it would have been kind of unique to see stuff like the X4, you know, Iris scene in in like different CG or something, or like updated anime or something. I don't know what they were gonna do, but it would have been nice to see a fresh new 2.5D take on all of the games, and maybe they could fix problems like X6, just completely retool that entire game completely. But it would have been interesting, but again, the PSP Mega Man games did not sell well at all. Powered Up, Maverick Hunter X, they were not big sellers, so Capcom felt it was kind of pointless to make sequels.
Woohoo! It's Vile! I used to have nothing but respect for you, you know.
In that case, get out of my way and let me pass.
I don't think so. We're going to have to fight.
If you say so, I won't let you or Sigma stand in my way.
I'm ready!
I mean, think of a Maverick Hunter X2. We'd get to have, like, voices for all your favorite Mavericks. Wire Sponge. Bubble Crab. There's a Bubble Crab. Other guys. I like the X series, and when I play them, I immediately remember all the weaknesses of every boss. But it's like I try to remember all the bosses and stuff, and it's like, what's all the Mavericks in X4? There's a mushroom. There's a flame dragoon. You know, I got a hazy memory. It's hard to keep track of all these guys. Anyway, I had to use a sub-tank on Sting Chameleon. 'Cause I'm a pussy! No, it's 'cause it's hard. And, I don't have a weakness that stun locks him into doing the same thing. He always lashes his tongue at me. It's weird. If you jump too early, he licks his tongue to where you jump to, and he'll hit you that way. And if you jump too late, he'll hit you with his tongue at the bottom. So every time he like sort of blends in the background and then unblends and he starts lashing with his tongue, it's really specific jumping, and the spikes are hard to dodge, and the 3 lasers he shoots out of his tail are also kind of tricky, so he's always been a tough Maverick without his weakness. So, yeah. But anywho, folks, we got one more Maverick to go, and we will see him in Part 4.